You guys, can't stop, won't stop. I'm loving the mystery music. That was Inspector Gadget. You guys, is that way dating myself? Inspector Gadget's an old cartoon detective show. It was a cartoon when I was a kid. I don't know if it's still a thing, but I had to pull out some more detective music because, guys, we have something else we need to do. So I got a letter, a note, really a note more than a letter, from a student in another class, and his name is Ollie. And Ollie had a question because he has been working on using the strategy that we were taught about the letter twins. And he's run into a situation where it's not working for him. Have you ever had that happen? When you are using a strategy and the strategy is just like, it's not working for you at all. What do you do when that happens? So let's take a look. Let's take a look at what Ollie has sent us today. All right. Okay. I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Dear detectives, please help. My teacher told me I can break long words into smaller parts by looking for double letters and pulling them apart. I tried it with some words from my books, but it didn't work. Can you help me? When can I use this strategy? Here are the words I found." So our poor friend Ollie, at the bottom, he signed it. He said, "Thank you, detectives, Ollie." He found some words and he's saying, you know what? I tried the strategy that you guys thought was just so great and it's not working for me. And so let's think back to the strategy that we worked on, that when we saw two letters in the middle of a word that we would, or double letters, letters that were the same, we would pull them apart to try and read them. Okay, so that's the strategy that Ollie was using. And Ollie's saying, didn't work. Here's just a list of words that I tried this with, and it didn't work at all. So as detectives, why don't we take a closer look? Take a look at these words and see what we can figure out. All right? So I'm going to grab my marker again. Oh, I'm going to go with blue this time. Very exciting to choose your marker color. So let's take a look at this first word that Ollie found. Okay, and we're going to use that strategy that we had used before, right? To break it apart where the double letters are. So let's do that. Ooh, skinny line. Okay, so now that I have that broken apart, I'm going to read it. Okay, listen up. Ball. Ball. Well, yeah, he's right. That totally doesn't work. Because that word's ball. It's not ball. Can hardly even say that. It's ball. So this strategy did not work at all for the word ball. Okay, ball's kind of just, it's not going to work. Okay, let's try the next one. I'm going to go ahead and again, I'm going to separate the word at those letter twins. Well, that might not have been the best drawing I've ever done in my life. Let's try that again. All right. Let's see. That's pretty good. All right, so I divided it right in the middle between those letter twins. We have two S's, divided it up. I'm going to read it to you. Ready? Mez. Mez. Mezzes. Guys, that doesn't work. This is the word mess. This is 100% the word mess. That makes no sense at all. So, yeah, it did. I agree with Ollie. It didn't work. All right, let's try this word. Oh, okay. All right. All right. So there's something different going on here. So here's letter twins again. I'm going to take my marker. I'm going to separate them. Tre-ez. Tre-ez. Hey, this didn't work at all. This is the word trees. Right, guys? Trees, not tre-ez. Even though Ollie did exactly what he was supposed to do, he looked at those letter twins. He divided it where it divided the word, right where the letter twins are. And he read the parts, but it didn't work. Let's try the next one. Okay. All right. So I found those two O's, those letter twins, divided it right in half. Let's read it. Spa on. Spa on. Spa on. Hey guys, this is the word spoon. This strategy totally didn't work. So let's take a look at these words again And let's see if we can tell Ollie why. Because if we think back to the last strategy that we learned, it was that when we find letter twins that are consonants in the middle of a word, we break them apart. Well, let's take a look at these first two that we looked at, ball and mess. Now, our strategy tells us that that letter twins have to be in the middle of a word. Well, what's different about ball and mess? Are those letter twins in the middle? No, they're at the end of the word. That strategy won't work when the letters are at the end of a word. When those letter twins are together at the end of a word and are consonants, they're just going to make one sound. Two L's make an O for ball. Two S's make a S for mess. So that's why the strategy doesn't work, because these two letter twins, these consonants, they're not in the middle. So those aren't going to work. That's the problem, Ollie. We have to pay really close attention to where those letter twins are. Here's the second set of words, trees and spoon. Does anyone know why the strategy isn't working with trees and spoon? It's a different reason than why it wasn't working with ball and mess. Okay, so this time, the letter twins are in the middle, so check. We got that part right. Check, that's right off our list. But the strategy tells us that the letter twins have to be consonants. E and O. Are those consonants, guys? They are not. They are vowels. And so that strategy won't work with vowels, even if they're in the middle of the word, even if there are letter twins there. It doesn't work with vowels. So Ollie, that's what we've discovered, that really, truly, this strategy with letter twins only works with consonants in the middle of a word, okay? So what you guys are going to do today is I am going to give you your very own Jamboard to work on, and I'm going to spend just a moment teaching you how to use it. So you get a blank Jamboard that looks like this, and then I am going to put a sticky on it that says letter twin words. I'm going to stick it right in the middle. And so what I want you to do today, as you're reading, or tomorrow, I want you to collect some letter twin words, because we're detectives, right? And so we gather evidence. And so what I want you to do is, when you find some of those words where the strategy works, where you have two letter twins that are consonants in the middle of a word, that when you break them apart, it helps you to read the two parts together, I want you to write them down in a notebook, write them on a piece of paper, on a Post-it, and then come back and drop them on my Jamboard. Now, there are some rules here, though. And my class knows these really well, but I don't know if you guys at Avery have used this before. With our Jamboard, you never, ever, ever touch anyone else's work. That is just an absolute. If you touch someone else's work, there's generally going to be a consequence. You might get a warning, but after that, then Jamboard privileges will have to rethink those. So we never touch anybody else's work. If you want to add a word, and I'm just going to show you how, you're going to come over here to where it says sticky note. You're going to click on sticky note. You can choose your color, and then you're going to type your word, the word that you found that had letter twins in the middle that were consonants, okay? And so I'm going to put this word here that we worked on today, the word little. And then I'm just going to put it right there in the middle of the board, and I'm not going to touch anybody else's work. I'm not going to check out these tools. These are teacher tools. The only tool you need right here is sticky notes. And let's see how many different words we can find where this strategy actually works. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I will be back with you on no, not Friday. We don't have school on Friday. I will see you Monday with another phonics lesson. And maybe if you're super lucky, I'll find some new detective music. All right, guys, have a great day.